Welcome to the Ben Daniel Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. The Indiana Fever nearly blew a 31-point lead, and it seemed like Caitlin Clark was all alone as Christie Sides and Erica Wheeler continued to conspire against her. And in doing this, conspiring against the Indiana Fever, conspiring against the fans, conspiring against the fan base, and really making every game closer than it needs to be. Folks, I don't know how much longer we all should be able to put up with this Christie Sides experiment. I don't know how much longer we all need to act like Christie Sides isn't the issue, how much longer we need to act like Erica Wheeler isn't the issue. Folks, what more proof do we need? What more proof do we need to see to show us Christie Sides isn't ready for this job? Remember against the Chicago Sky, up 15 points? What happened to that game? Christie Sides special. Chicago Sky come back and win. Something similar, very similar, almost happened against the Phoenix Mercury. Caitlin Clark did as much as she can do. 20 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal. Played an excellent game up until the fourth quarter, where she was told, go sit in the corner while we run through our offense through Erica Wheeler. And while doing this, Caitlin Clark had 0 points, 0 assists, and barely saw the ball. The Indiana Fever hit a brick wall offensively. Couldn't score to save their lives. 19-2 run, ending the third into the fourth. 17-0 run in the fourth. Kalia Copper looking like Michael Jeffrey Jordan out there. And Christie Sides is doing her best Doc Rivers impersonation, blowing a 30-point lead. And in the post-game interview, Christie Sides was asked, not necessarily about the 30-point lead, she was asked about her players. Aaliyah Boston, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, all putting up solid numbers, all putting up 20-plus points. And Christie Sides said, yeah, that's cool, but my concern is how did we put up 31 points? Folks, let's listen to what Christie Sides had to say, and then we're going to come back to it. For those of you who didn't hear Christie Sides post-game, this is Christie Sides right here.
These stats where you guys had 3 players with 20-plus points and then also 3 players who had double-doubles. When you have that type of production from 4 different players, what does that say about the kind of well-roundedness of this team?
I mean, right now, I mean, that's incredible. And that just shows like what we're capable of. For me right now, it's giving up 36 points in 11 minutes. So that's what we've got to figure out. You know, I haven't been here when we've been up 31 points. And when you do that, you have to figure out a way to hold that and just finish the game. And so that is where, as a coach, that's where I'm at. But it's incredible, you know, to have players that can put up those many points and be able to rebound the basketball. But that, you know, that's where I'm at.
Wow, Christie. Great job. Great job. Way to really big up your players. Way to really shout them out. Where are you at, Christie? You are at almost giving up a 31-point lead. Giving up 36 points in 11 minutes. That's where you're at, Christie. How did we do that? Well, I'll tell you how. Your half-court defense sucks. You guys rely on playing fast to keep the other team off balance, so your half-court defense isn't in the half-court, forcing the other team to play fast to hide the weakness in your half-court defense. You took out Kelsey Mitchell, put in Erica Wheeler, took the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand, put it in Erica Wheeler's hand, changed up the offensive game plan, decided to run 4 out just to swing the ball on the outside, maybe running an occasional off-ball screen. And in that time, Caitlin Clark had 0 points, 0 assists. The team looked slow, didn't get up and down, and therefore the terrible half-court defense that you've been installing all year long, the terrible half-court sets that you've been installing all year long, the terrible rotations that you've been installing all year long, the slow rotations that you've been allowing all year long, came out and reared their ugly head in the half court because you decided to take the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand. Do you not realize how one has to do with the other? One hand washes the other. When you take the ball out of your hand and you make the pace much slower, your defense really shows how abysmal it is. Your half-court defense really shows how terrible it is. Yeah, individually, Aaliyah Boston has some nice defensive ball skill. Lexi Hull individually has some nice defensive ball skill. But within your schemes, if your scheme was that tight, that rock solid, you wouldn't be giving up 31-point leads. Because your scheme is that tight, that rock solid, and you damn sure wouldn't be giving it up against a Phoenix Mercury team that has no Natasha Cloud, no Diana Taurasi, and Brittany Griner sat the whole entire second, third, and fourth quarter. You lost this game because you failed to realize that not only taking the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand makes your offense suffer, but in turn lets the opposing team set up their offense more because we are running a slower pace game, because we are running more half-court sets, because Christie Sides is going into her delusional prevent defense, and her prevent is prevent Caitlin Clark from getting the ball and prevent doing the game plan that we installed. Folks, I'm going to be honest with you. This whole entire press conference, I want to talk about it. I want to react to it. But Christie Side says the same thing every game. She takes no blame for herself. I have never heard her say, I need to coach better. I have never heard her say that. Instead, she's blaming her players, blaming her defense, blaming this, blaming that. Christie, this is all your fault. Can we just get that understood? And if it's not all your fault, it's 90% on you. 90% on you. Let's see what else Christie Sides had to say here.
Every day. Really proud of her consistency and what she's done for us. Create and then, finish at the rim, kick to shooters. Like, she just collapses the defense.
Matt and Chloe.
Yeah, Caitlin had another 13 assists tonight. It just seemed like she was making some really remarkable passes. Did you notice maybe a step up or more dynamic passes, just improvement from that aspect of her game?
Yeah, I don't know if it's more dynamic or more. I think she just does what she does. I mean, she's got the ability to draw, several defenders, and she has got a crazy eye for her teammates and where they are and moving and able to make passes that some people, in the first half, my gosh, she dropped 2 down to.
Go Chloe, then we're going back.
Yeah, you mentioned those 36 points in the last 12 minutes. Just what can you take from that to improve for Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, that's our defense. It started with us not handling their zone very well. They went zone, and we just kind of, we didn't take wide open shots. We were getting wide open shots. We weren't finishing them, and then we weren't getting back and guarding. Like we just couldn't get matched up with who we were supposed to. And then I told them at the end of the third, like, these guys can shoot the basketball. They have the ability to put the ball in the hole. They can get a lot of points. Kalia Copper's an unbelievable player. She made things happen for them. So that's just us being up 31, able to finish out a game the way we should have, and that's just what we need to talk about and figure out.
Wow, Christie. Wow. So you guys couldn't combat the zone defense. That's interesting. You know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a coach that saw a zone defense and malfunctioned. That sounds like a coach that saw a zone defense and went brain dead. That sounds like a coach that saw a zone defense and has absolutely no idea how to break a zone defense. Put your 5 on the free throw line. You put your 4 on the low block. You put your 3 in the corner. You put your 2 foul line extended. You put your 1 top of the key, dumps it into the free throw line, forces the zone to collapse, and there you go. Folks, this is fucking middle school shit. How many times during that zone defense did you see Aaliyah Boston, Nalissa Smith, Katie Lou Samuelson sit on top of that key, sit on that free throw line with a first entry pass to get the zone to react? I have an answer for you guys. 0 times at all. 0. The zone not being able to fix it, that is a Christie sides issue. You think Noelle Quinn wouldn't be able to figure out a zone? Timeout. Timeout. And Noelle Quinn, the coach of the Seattle Storm, by the way, I don't know why, I'm a huge Noelle Quinn fan. It just, her demeanor, her composure, the way she talks, the way she walks, it's never too here, it's never too here. It's always right. You need someone like that. Noelle Quinn will be like, oh, zone? Okay, timeout. Let me draw up here. Aaliyah Boston, okay. Kelsey, get your ass in the game. Instead, Christie Sides leaves the same bum, Erica Wheeler, out on the floor. Oh, the zone defense. 19-2 run, 17-0 run. Next thing you know, 4-point game. Moving on. She blames it on getting back on defense and matchups. Yell at them. Scream at your players. Use that raspy voice and yell at your team. Make them give effort. If you're not watching, if you're not appreciating how fast they're getting back on defense or how fast they're matching up with the opposing player's team, guess what, Christie? Call a damn timeout and chew everybody out. Instead of being passive-aggressive and throwing sub-shots at your team in the press conference because you're too coward to say it in the huddle. Because what were you saying in the huddle? These guys can make shots. These guys can put the ball in the hole. No shit. They're in the WNBA. I hope they can make shots. I hope they can put the ball in the hole. I hope they won't quit down 30. They're in the WNBA. They get paid to play basketball. How about instead of saying that in between the quarters, you say, this is what I'm going to draw up to break the zone. You guys remember zone breaker, fucking 8 years old, 9 years old, 10 years old, just learning the game. But Christie Sides, she's too busy saying this on this. She's too busy like this on the sideline. Oh, doing all that. Again, Noelle Quinn. Noelle Quinn. That's the name. The Seattle Storm head coach. Hand her a blank check. Whatever you want, that's for you. I'm done with Christie Sides, man. I don't know how many more games of 14-point quarters, 13-point quarters, 9-point quarters. Caitlin Clark, go stand in the corner. Do we need to see? And another thing, before I forget, folks, I'm used to New York media, New Jersey media, tri-state media, Pennsylvania media. I'm used to that. Nobody in that press conference asked Christie Sides a question about that fourth quarter having Erica Wheeler control the ball and putting Caitlin Clark off ball. Not one reporter in that room asked that. Shame on you guys. Shame on you guys. What happened to actual reporting, journalism, asking tough questions? Hey, Christie, that fourth quarter, I saw the offense looked a little different once you took out Kelsey Mitchell, put in Erica Wheeler, took the ball out of Caitlin Clark's hand, made her play all. What happened with that? Why'd you do that? Oh, well, you know, blah, 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 blah. Folks, this is exactly how that fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark going up against Christie Sides and Erica Wheeler. And fortunately enough, they built such a large lead that the Mercury could not come back. Fortunately enough, they built such a large lead that Christie Sides didn't blow her second 15-plus point lead. It's the Ben Daniel podcast where we're calling a spade. Another victory for the Indiana Fever. Another game of Caitlin Clark going off despite a lackluster head coach, despite Christie Size, and Erica Wheeler. This is the Ben Daniel Podcast where we're calling a spade a spade. I appreciate all the support. Thank you so much. I am truly humbled. Seriously, between the support here, the support in the venue. Thank you guys so much. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. Enjoy your Sunday. We'll be back in the venue on Sunday.